Hello and welcome. Today I want to take you through some of the things, something that's happening here in Lord of the Rings Online. In the game, there are a variety of things you can do. You can follow the epic storyline, which sends you on a parallel of quests to the Fellowship. You can pick up quests and do deeds in various areas without following the story. You can farm and fish and enjoy the Hobbit life. And you can enjoy events in the game, both created by Lord of the Rings Online or LOTRO folks, as well as player-created events. So today we are going to focus on the Harvest Festival. It happens in the mid-fall every year. The Wiki says that each race knows it by a different name. Harvest Festival for hobbits, Harvestmath for men, Autumnfest for dwarves, and Iavasmereth for elves. I'll be referring to it as the Harvest Festival most of the time because it has that kind of hobbity feeling to it, and Harvestmath some of the times because I'm a human and I like the name Harvestmath. I think it's a fun name. So what I want to show you is kind of do a little bit of introduction to the festival in general, and then in another video we'll go through various different parts of the festival. So here we have my character, and when you first log in with a character that hasn't done it yet that year, you're going to get an auto pop-up. And that's going to give you the information about the festival, and usually you get a map on how to get to the activities, to the event area. So let's take a look, and then we're going to open that up, and we're going to use the map, which will take us to the party tree. So for most of the events, there's a main area of the festival, and then there's going to be some outlying areas and other low-level areas in the game, which means basically lower-level characters are able to participate in a lot of the activities. So that's really nice. Okay, so let's take a look here. So right here, we've got our button that lets us know that, hey, we have something going on. Fall Festival is here. So we're going to click on that, and it tells us a little bit about this. We're spreading good-hearted tricks and tasty treats around Middle-earth. So join in by starting at the Shire, where Mr. Bilbo Baggins has left one last surprise for his neighbors. So when we accept this quest, after we've completed this quest, you're going to get a map to the party tree, and you're going to get a Fall Festival token, and that's what we're going to use for our currency to buy the fun things. And then we get a guide which can walk us through some of the things that are going on. And this is a repeatable quest, as in once a year. Or if they run a repeat, then also at that time. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and accept that. So we have accepted the quest. It would show up in our quest log. And now we are going to complete the quest. So there we are, finished now. Ta-da! So if we look in our way too full inventory, here is the guide to Harvestmath, if you wish to take a look at that. And here is the map. So we're going to go ahead and just use that map. So you just right click on it. And here, like I said, is a festival guide, and it gives you a little bit of taster information, but it doesn't tell you enough about where to find things if you want more detailed information. So it's a great overview to get you started, and then you can look into other things to help you kind of figure out more about what to do. Okay, so we have now arrived at the party tree. Dun-dun. So some of the quests, most of the quests in this festival reward you with 3 festival tokens, which you can barter for various cool things. In the case of this festival, yes, the main area is here at the party tree where we are. There is also a kind of instanced area where it's taking place outside of, you can't just walk to Wistmead. You have to get there by using this horse. And so the name of the place is Wistmead, and there's a pony right there. So you would just click on the pony and it will take you directly to Wistmead, like that person probably is doing right there. So it gives you the emote like you're calling for a horse, and then poof, you have arrived in Wistmead. So we're probably not going to go and take a look at that right now. We'll do that in a separate video because there's a lot of stuff going on in Wistmead. For some festivals, now there are festival horses at major hubs, and that will take you to the main areas. In this case, there is not a special horse, so you just have to get yourself to the party tree like your normal way. If you happen to be a hunter, there is a hunter campsite on top, which is really useful if you're not in the middle of some other heavy questing where you need to use that campsite fire for something else. All right, so let me introduce you to some of the folks over here. Since we are at the party tree, like I said, that's kind of our main space. Okay, so Rosa Hornblower over here, she is a very, very busy little hobbit. And you can see she's already a little bit crowded, and this isn't even busy. I've had many times recently already in this festival where I can't even get to her. I have to go behind her and hope that I can click on her through all the people. So Rosa Hornblower here, she has the festival wrapper quests, and she's also one of the barterers for the various things that you can get. And what do I mean by wrapper quests? Well, the first thing, oh, what's that? All right, we're gonna get rid of that. Okay, so the first thing you'll want to do when you're starting is you're going to want to talk to the main person. She's going to give you this quest, A Fortune of Harvest Spirit. And she's saying, hey, there's so much going on around here. Why don't you go and check it all out? This is one of the wrappers because it wants us to complete a bountiful harvest, the intro. All right, so you accept that, but you're not gonna be able to complete that yet because you see, you've got a number of things you're gonna have to do for that. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna talk to her again. And now she gives us a spirited harvest, which is the thing she wants us to work on. And for that, we need to complete Harvest Festival activities, and you want to do 10 of those. This is a quest that you can do once per day. So you'll want to pick this up every day, do your 10, and come back and turn it in to her. So that's the plan that you'll want to have in mind. Now, in this case, the third wrapper shows up, and it shows up as a pop-up here. So that one is a bountiful harvest intro, which remember that's the thing that she told us we wanted to do. We have to complete a spirited harvest 4 times. So when we complete our daily, do 10 a day 4 times, that will complete this. And once we've completed that, it will then allow her to give us the next piece of her over wrapper. So it's kind of 3 layers deep, right? You've got your do 10 things a day, and then you do that a certain number of times, like 4 times. That finishes this. You do this wrapper 3 times, and that finishes the mega wrapper. And each one has different really cool things you can get. In my case, I'm very interested in the Figments of Splendor. This is one of the best ways to get them is through a festival. And you can use those at the curator to get other really cool things, some housing things, some cosmetics, things like that. So we're going to go ahead and accept that. So now we have accepted our 3 layers of wrappers, and that's probably the first thing you want to do when you're starting with a festival. All right, so what else do we need to know? We talked about the fact that we don't have horses to get us here directly. We talked about the fact that there are wrappers. What else are some common things that you're going to find? In most of the festivals, you will find that there are some fun things that you can trade for, that you can barter for with those tokens. Now, this is the first time I've ever run the festival with this character, so you'll see that she has 1 token that we received when we did that at the very beginning, remember? So all of these are grayed out because right now we can't afford any of them. But you can see that we have some horse items with some mounts. There are some cosmetics. There are some cosmetic pets. If you are looking at cosmetics here in the new items, there are some really gorgeous things that they put out this year. So here we've got the hooded cloak of the Autumn Sage. There's the regular cloak of the Autumn Sage. We've got the cowl and hat. I've seen a lot of people wearing those. It's a nice, good Halloween-looking hat. We've got our vestments of the Autumn Sage. That's a gorgeous dress. And I've seen somebody on Twitter posted it was dyed, so it does look like you can dye it. We've got some bee wings that you can get. So, all right, I don't want to spoil too much of the fun there. There's a lot of really fun things you can get in this year's festival. So you'll want to make sure you take a look at there and check that out. Now, how did I do that? I pushed Control and left clicked on things. So let me open that barterer back up. That is how I was able to look at those. And I have a plugin which allows me to see a larger wardrobe, so I can see this even better. I can talk about plugins another time, or if you ask questions, I can point you to which ones I like to use. All right, so that's a pretty neat thing you can do, is look at the various things. Okay, so we have rewards. Now the nice thing is when we had the festival earlier, we had the Harvest Festival that was running at the same time as one of the other festivals, and we had like 5 different festival vendors here lined up. This time it's a lot more streamlined. You've got her right there who's already swamped, as you can see. You've got your token exchange lady over here, Becca Burdock, that we had last time. So if you have tokens from one festival, you could trade them for something else. So maybe you have a bunch that you collected for one festival and now you want to use them for a different festival. You do have some options here where you can do that. And what you do is you basically give her the tokens that you want to get rid of, and she gives you a box. And you open the box and you choose one of these things. So 6 spring leaves or 6 anniversary tokens, etc., etc. So those are your options for swapping tokens if that's something that you feel that you need to do. Now over at the area over here, this is the main area for this particular festival at the party tree area. And you'll notice there's a whole bunch of hobbits standing around here. So we've got oh my goodness, we've got all sorts of people. So what's going to happen is they have various different quests for you. You'll see some of them have rings over their head already. There is, with this particular festival, there's kind of a pre-quest that you have to do in order to gain access to that door, which leads you to the main area. That quest I have not done with this character yet, so I'm going to be showing you that in a separate video. I'm going to walk through that so you kind of know what you're looking for. And I'm going to pick that up from Opal. So we're not going to talk to her just yet. But just so you know that these are the various NPCs that you're going to want to talk to in order to do quests that take place inside that cellar door, which takes you to the Haunted Burrow. Also, you'll see some things around the party tree itself. So let's take a look over here. You've got your standard, hey, go check out the horses. You've got your dance leader if you haven't learned the dances yet for hobbits. And Bingo Boffin over here has shown up. And why is that interesting? Well, normally, he's not just standing around during the festival, but he has a 2-part special festival item that set of quests that you can do. So the first one is the frightful tales to curl the hair on your toes. So you'll want to do that one first, and it is recommended that you go ahead and do that full quest line. It is a number of quests before you go to part 2, which is the Curse of the Eerie Acres. And the Curse of Eerie Acres takes place mainly around the Wistmead area. So that's why you kind of want to do the one first, and plus some of the story pieces from the first year kind of play into the second year. But you can do them both in the same festival now. All right, so we've got Bingo there. So there are some things happening in other places around Middle Earth. So let me go ahead and pull up here. FibroJedi is one of my favorite websites to go to, and he always has some really fabulous information about what's going on in the festivals. So he's put together his 2020 guide, and he's got basically some basic information about it, just kind of like what we're talking about here. And then he goes through the different things that you can do at here. There are some tricks, which there's in 4 different areas around Middle Earth. There's a set you could do here around the party tree. And he walks you through where to find those and who you go talk to do those and what you need to do. There's also places in 4 different areas where you can just grab a thing and you then trade it in for festival tokens. So here at the party tree, for example, there's apple bobbing. So you bob for an apple, you trade the apple in for a token. Each one of these 4 locations also has a festival token barterer person, a games master standing next to this, and you can trade festival tokens and a special scroll for a mask. And each of these 4 areas has a different mask. So for example, this one has a bucket mask. This one has, I think, the raven. Yeah, so they have different masks that you can trade for. And so if you're really into the different masks and putting costumes together around those would be a fun place to check that out. So FibroJedi, fibrojedi.me.uk, again, has a really great guide there, and I highly recommend you go check that out. Another thing that I use a lot is the LOTRO Wiki. And here you can see the Harvest Festival, and that's where I have found that information there that we mentioned early on. And they, again, will go through a lot of the general detail of the festival, things that happen, what you can get from the vendors, and etc. There's a lot, and then there's often some pictures of the things you can get. And sometimes FibroJedi will actually just say, go look at the wiki, because they have everything that you need to see. Oh yes, like the beaver festival mask. That's one of the items that you can get over from one of those picking up out of a container idea places. All right, and then if you want to see any of the housing decorations, D&Co de Mieux is a French site, but they go ahead and translate everything into English as well. And they will have all sorts of really great images of housing items. They try to get those in as quickly as they can, so you can see what those look like. All right, so those are some websites that I like to refer people to. All right, so what else do we want to talk about? So we talked about where you're going to find everything is here and at a couple of different places around Middle-earth, generally Thorin's Hall, the Shire, generally near the Party Tree, Kellendim or Duland. It's going to be in one of those 2 areas. And who am I missing? Oh, and Bree. And this time it's at the festival grounds in Bree. All right, so that pretty much covers a general overview of where you're going to find this fall festival, this harvest festival or Harvestmath, and some of the people that you're going to want to talk to get you started. All right, so I hope that's a good start, so you kind of have an idea of what this is. And then as we go through some of the other videos, then I'll give you some more details on how to get around in the mazes, and well, how to get around in one of the mazes. The other one I'm not going to show you very well. But yeah, it's very Halloween, very fall themed kind of festival, if you didn't pick up on that already. So there's costumes, there's trick-or-treating, there's running around in the haunted burrow. Lots of fun things to do there. So I hope you get a chance to try out Harvest Festival or Harvestmath. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, or we will also be doing some other videos, so maybe we'll answer those questions before you even have them. All right, thank you so much, and we'll see you soon. All right, bye.